What's going on, guys? Luke from Shift to Strength here. In today's video, I want to talk about the optimal amount of sets that a new male gym goer should perform per exercise to maximize both strength and muscle gains. We will be firstly taking a look at the major studies relating to the topic and highlighting key concepts and findings. From there, we will discuss practical advice and how you should go and not go about your training. Stick around to the end as we'll be discussing a critical mistake beginners make. If you're a young to middle-aged man that is serious about getting the best results possible, this channel is for you. No crap, watered down content that you could have found an answer to by typing in Google, but rather on this channel we look and investigate various strength training topics to the context of beginners with the goal of helping serious individuals such as yourself get serious results. Now if this resonates with you and you're serious about getting the most out of your training, hit that subscribe button. Now on to the video. The two questions we're answering today are, number one, as a beginner looking to get the best strength and muscle gains possible, does more training volume produce better results? And the second question, keeping the evidence in mind, what are the practical takeaways you can use to build the best training program possible? Let's start off with question one. First of all, we need to understand what training volume means. Essentially, training volume is the total amount of work you do in a training session. For simplicity's sake, we will keep it to just sets per exercise. For example, if you did 3 sets of 12 repetitions of bench press, we would be just talking about the 3 sets. Now it's important to realize that even though a dose-response relationship exists for training volume, which said differently means more sets equals better results, there is a general consensus in the literature that after a certain amount of sets, adding additional sets will hinder, not advance your training. This is generally accepted as the law of diminishing returns and operates as an inverse U-shaped graph, where an optimal amount of sets creates the best response and any more or less will either under or overtrain the individual. For example, a meta-analysis conducted by Rhea and colleagues set out to determine the optimal set structure for a beginner. For those who do not know what a meta-analysis is, it is the highest quality of evidence available because it extracts the results from a series of studies that look at a particular topic. The meta-analysis analyzed findings of 140 studies and determined that 4 sets per exercise was optimal for maximizing muscle and strength gains while limiting overtraining. During my research, I also stumbled upon a highly relevant single study published in the journal Strength and Conditioning Research in 2015. This paper adds further support that more than 3 sets per exercise may have added benefits for untrained individuals. The paper assigned 48 men with no weight training experience into one of 3 groups: a 1, 3, or 5 set exercise group which performed the same exercise 3 times per week. A couple major strengths of this particular study are: 1, it is highly relevant to this video. The study only used men with a mean age of 24 and with no weight training experience, and 2, it had a long 6-month time horizon. This is important because the time course to see noticeable changes in muscle growth takes longer than people realize, and the extra time gives a better impression of the changes the added volume to your workout plan makes. The biggest takeaway of this study is that the 5-set group outperformed the 3-set group in both strength increases and muscle growth to a significant extent, which clearly demonstrates that adding more sets per exercise is beneficial for beginners on paper. However, this leads us into our next question. Keeping the evidence in mind, what are the practical takeaways I can use to build the best training plan possible? So here's the deal. Although there's a large body of research confirming that more sets leads to better results in previously untrained individuals, we need to take the following into account. Number one, these studies were undertaken in controlled environments. For example, in the study comparing 1, 3, and 5-set programs, participants were monitored throughout the training sessions by a fitness professional. In the context of someone without training experience, this is a massive deal. Form correction, spotting, and expert advice were all given. The study did not take into account arguably the most important aspect of strength and muscle development: program adherence. So yes, you are right to assume that more sets will produce better results, but beginners fail to account for the behavioral changes associated with exercise. In fact, the number one reason people don't see results is not that they aren't following the perfect workout plan, but because they do too much too quickly. As a coach training new clients in the real world, I have found that progressing from 3 to 4+ sets over a 2 to 3 month period still produces amazing results while limiting the chances of injury and dropout. 3 sets still produce significant muscle hypertrophy in untrained individuals, and the risk to reward ratio of starting off at 5 sets is just not worth it in my opinion. The best support of this comes from a meta-regression article written by James W. Krieger in 2009 and published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research. The purpose of the paper was to systematically review the current literature on single versus multiple sets of resistance exercise. Essentially, Krieger revealed that 2 to 3 sets per exercise are associated with 46% greater strength gains than a single set in both untrained and trained subjects. And as one increases sets per exercise, the extent which additional results manifest starts to taper off, which is in accordance with most research findings, guys. Keeping this in mind, my recommendation for training volume for untrained males just starting on the gym is working at 3 sets per exercise and slowly progressing to 4 or more sets over a period of a couple months. This creates higher adherence while reducing the likelihood of injury. Alright, if you haven't hit that subscribe button up until now and have been watching this whole video, clearly you like the content, so go ahead and hit that button. But seriously, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something that you can apply in your training today. Get serious, get to work, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.